Hello everyone. First of all, I would like to say thank you for taking your time today to listen to some of my opinions and experiences about mindfulness. And my first video, as I have mentioned, about importance of taking care of our mental health and our mental hygiene for our own physical health and for our own happiness, because our mind and body is interconnected. And now lots of medical doctors have done a lot of research, and from that conclusion they have found out that too much anger, too much anxiety, too much stress is destroying our immune system and increasing our blood pressure and making a cause to have a stroke and a heart attack. So in conclusion, basically what the medical doctors are saying is if we don't take care of our mental health, it is a big risk to our own life. So it is important to take care of our mental health as it is to take care of our physical health. And if you have missed my first video, please go check it out. And it says how mindfulness important it is. So today I'll be talking about how to keep our mind calm. And I think this topic is very important and very broad as well. And first of all, if we are not feeling well, you see, if you go to check up with the doctor and basically the doctor asks, how may I help you today? And where are you feeling pain, or what are you not feeling well of? And then we tell the doctor, today I have a stomach pain and my stomach's not doing well. And then the doctor asks, what kind of food did you had yesterday, and how late do you eat your dinner, and what kind of diet, what kind of food do you eat? And from there the doctor prescribes us some medication. The doctor just don't give us medication when we come to the hospital and send us home. And that if we have a stomach pain, the doctor will not give you an eye drop for the eye pain. If we have a stomach pain, the doctor will not prescribe you a pain medication or Tylenol for a headache. So from this, what I'm trying to tell you is that to keep our mind calm, we have to first know what is the mind and what is the interconnection between our mind and the body. So I'm going to give you some few examples here from on. As you see, when we go to sleep at night, our physical body is laying comfortably on the bed, and then our mind goes in a dream. And then when we have a nightmare dream, you see, all of a sudden we wake up in the middle of the night, and then we have our body sometimes sweat, and then our heart races faster, and then we get scared. So this proves that there is a thing called mind and the interconnection between the mind and the body. If there is no mind, then why do we wake up in the middle of the night when we have nightmares? If there is no connection between the mind and body, why do we wake up in the middle of the night when we have nightmares and we have sweats and our heart beat faster? So this shows proof that there is a mind and there is a interconnection between the mind and the body. And then when we wake up in the morning, you see, sometimes we wake up because of nightmare dreams, or we wake up real early in the morning because of not sleeping comfortably. But most of the time, you see, we wake up because of this technology called alarm clock. You see, the alarm clock beeps and tells our mind to tell our body to wake up. it gives that connection, the message, telling our mind to tell our body to wake up. You see, if there is no mind, then why do we need an alarm clock? You see, the alarm clock shows a proof evidence that our mind and our body is interconnected, and we need to send a message to the mind so it can wake our body up. And then when we wake up in the morning, you see, we want to get to work at time. If we don't have an alarm clock, most likely most of the time we will get late to work and eventually get in trouble from our manager for being late all the time. So this shows another proof that the alarm clock is there because there is a mind and there is an interconnection between our mind and the body. And then when we wake up in the morning, you see our mind travels to work already, even though our physical body is at home getting up slowly and getting ready for work. And then we rush and we get angry, sometimes anxiety, because our mind has traveled to work already. And then we have all these negative emotion thoughts that arises in our mind. You know, what happened in the past. You know, sometimes in the past you might have got into a disagreement and argument with your coworkers. You might have, got scolded from your manager for some situation. So all these negative emotion thoughts comes in our mind, and we drag to go to work, and our anxiety increases, our stress increases, and we become angry and grudge to go to work. So this is another proof, even though our physical body is at home getting ready to go to work, but our mind travels ahead of time to work already, and we have all this negative emotion arises within our mind and makes our body also not want to go to work. And then when we get to work, finally you see our mind travels back home now, and then we wish in our mind, oh, I wish I was at home sitting comfortably on a couch or sleeping in the bed, watching a Netflix movie, eating a popcorn, or being on a vacation. And we have all these thoughts in our mind that comes in, and our mind travels to home and sometimes to vacation that we had before. And then a few minutes, 5 minutes, you see, feels more like, you see, 1 hour or 5 hours, because now we don't want to be at work because our mind traveled outside to home already, or to a vacation place where you went before in the past time. So this also shows another proof that our mind and body is interconnected. And with that negative emotion arises, you see, we get in an argument with our co-workers again, and we get scolded from our manager again. And then after work, finally, you see, we feel good and we tend to rush to get home. And then when we get home, what happens is our mind travels back home again now. And then all these experiences, negative experiences that you had in the morning at work, and it travels back in your mind. Your mind travels to work again, and then your anxiety increases, your stress increases, you become angry, and you end up showing that negative emotion to your wife, to your husband, and to your kids, and you end up arguing with your family members. And then your day tends to be even longer and takes longer time to go again. So this is another proof that even though after work our physical body is comfortably at home with your family, but at the same time your mind travels back in the past at work with the negative experiences that you had at work. And then at night time, you see, when you try to go to bed and you have all these negative emotions, your mind travels back in the time again, the negative experiences, emotions you had with your co-workers, the workload you had, even though it might be just a little workload, but the workload seems really heavy because of your mind going back in the past and the self-grasping attachment to that negative emotion really strong. And then your mind also thinks about, because you had those arguments, negative emotions at work, and you show that emotion with your family members, and you argue with your family members, and all these thoughts you see crumbles up together, and then you're not able to sleep now because you have so much thoughts running in your mind, and your anxiety, your stress, anger increases again, and you're not able to sleep. And then you also worry about the future too. Now the next morning, oh my God, I have to wake up in the morning again, I have to go to work, I have to face these co-workers that I don't get along with, my manager that yelled at me. All these, you see, negative emotions also your mind goes in the future also. So these are proofs that shows that our mind is not able to stay calm, because our mind is never with our body. Our body is always here and our mind is always here. So how can our mind be calm if our body and mind is not together? So that's why our mind is not able to stay calm, because we're not able to take care of our mind. As I mentioned on my first video, you see, we take care of our physical body, brush our teeth, wash our face, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we never think about washing our mind and feeding our mind. So that's why our mind and body is never together. You see, our mind is always running on a treadmill 24/7, and our mind gets burned out. You see, if I tell you to run on a treadmill for 10 minutes, you might be able to run for 10 minutes. But if I tell you to run on a treadmill for 16 hours, of course you're gonna eventually pass out, or something bad's gonna happen. So you see, that's why our mind is not calm. Another example is because our mind is always running on a treadmill 24/7. Even in sleep, our mind is running on a treadmill. So how can we keep our mind calm if our mind is always running around and never stay at the present moment? Our mind is always in the past or in the future. So that's why we have to learn how to keep our mind and body together, and keep our mind at the present moment instead of in the past or the future. So in my next video, now I'm going to show you how mindfulness practice can keep our mind calm. And there's two types of mindfulness practice. And the first one is single pointed or focus mindfulness practice. And basically what it is because of our mind is always running around to the past and the future, and this mindfulness practice of single pointed or focus mind training helps us to concentrate our mind at one single pointed thing, so that way we can keep our mind calm. And the second mindfulness training I'm going to share with you is analytical mind training, analyzing. And basically what it is when you have these negative thoughts, and instead of looking at from just one direction, but looking from different directions, you see, looking at the situation from north, from south, and then from east and west. So that's called analytical mind training. So once again, thank you so much everyone for taking your time to listen to this video today, how to keep our mind calm. This is part 1. In my second part, I'm going to explain to you how to practice mindfulness and how to keep our mind calm. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, happy, positive, joyful, thankful, mindful day. Thank you.